Real sound of the DMV. Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing. Before that, Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. And I have with me on the phone now half of that writing force, Valerie Simpson, my sister, Valerie Simpson. Hey, Valerie.
Indeed. Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Oh, man. You know, it's so funny. We've been telling that lie for so many years, and people all the time come up to me and say, man, I saw your sister in concert. She was great. I said, oh, yeah, she's bad.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You know, well, I'm owning up to my half.
Yeah. I tell them, oh, I knew she was going to be great when she was a little girl. Yeah, I knew it.
Oh, sure.
Oh, but how's everything? You doing good?
Everything is great. You know, I've been doing a lot of running around, and I'm enjoying it. You know, I was out on the road for Christmas with Dave Koz, and that was like 24 dates in 28 days. So, you know, I really put myself to the test.
Oh, man. You know, I would imagine, and I'm not trying to age you, but I would imagine that gets harder as you get older to do that many dates.
No, you know what? It was, you know, I did it with the right people, and I never had that experience before. So it was really kind of fresh.
Oh,
I enjoyed it.
Oh, cool. Well, you know what? It's nice to still be in the game, isn't it?
Hey, that's the truth. That is the truth.
I'm telling you. What year did you actually start recording?
Well, our first record was like in 1973.
Oh.
Give Me Something Real, yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, in 73. What about writing? Were you writing before that?
Oh, the writing. Well, that started, you know, like in 65.
Oh, 65. What was your first song, first hit?
You mean, well, the very first hit was Let's Go Get Stoned. Oh, wow. Right after church, we wrote Let's Go Get Stoned.
That's the church spirit. Message received.
Oh, my goodness. It's a wonder we made it through all those years, you know, starting off that way.
That is so funny. Oh, that's amazing. What a story. Oh, man. So do you still write?
Absolutely. You know, I've really gotten into it over the last 2 years. It took me a while after Nick passed just to even want to do it, but and then to realize I had to do it alone. But, you know, it's something you find that there's something deep inside of you that needs to come out, and so I've been able to do that. Yeah. And so it's really rewarding now.
Yeah. Of course, Nick Ashford was her husband. We lost him in 2011, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
August, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, we talked to so many artists when you lose a band member, but for you, I mean, not only was he your partner on stage, he was your husband. You know, you wrote with him, you did it all with him. I can only imagine what that moment had to be like for you.
Yeah, it was pretty devastating, you know, and you don't know how you're going to make it through, except there are arms that reach out for you that, you know, that you can fall back on, and you really need them at that time. And I was lucky enough to have that. Yeah. You know, we all grow through it, you know, and we realize there's something else that we're supposed to do. If we're still here, there must be something to do.
Yeah, right. That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, you got to move on. I got to ask you this, though, because we lost one of music's true legends over the weekend. I'd just like to know your thoughts about the loss of Chuck Berry.
Yeah, I mean, he was such an innovator. I can imagine, you know, a lot of people will come forward now and give him the roses, you know, but in the final analysis, though, he was so many people borrowed from him. I won't say stole, borrowed some of his greatness, and yet, you know, he didn't get the checks that they got. So I guess in the end, that is a little bit disappointing to him, except he leaves a legacy that will never go away. But I just wish somebody had paid him thought to, you know, to write a bigger check while he was still here. Yeah,
right. Absolutely. Yeah. What about you guys personally? And this may be too personal of a question, but I am curious because, you know, we've always heard those stories about, you know, especially back in the day with those old contracts, you know, with you guys being writers. Were you paid the way you should have been paid as writers with writing and publishing?
Well, we were paid as writers because we gave up the publishing to go with Motown. But that was for 7 years. And then after we left Motown, we started our own publishing company. And from then on, you know, we published and wrote. So, you know, the songs like I'm Every Woman and Solid and Seems to Hang On and all that stuff, you know, we fully own that. But, you know, I don't regret those 7 years because I didn't know we didn't know what we were doing, and to give it up, the songs continue to make more money today than they ever, would have anyone could ever imagine. So, I feel like it was a fair trade.
Yeah. Would that be your advice for young people who are trying to get in the business, is to try to concentrate on writing? Is it writing and publishing? That's where the money is, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And you can't always, that hit song doesn't necessarily have to go to you, or if you're waiting for somebody to give it to you. So if you're able to dig down and come up with an identity of your own and be the captain of your own ship, you're so much better off.
Mm-hmm. Who inspired you as a writer early?
As a writer early on, golly, I don't know. I honestly, I was more inspired by artists like, Nina Simone, who was also a good writer, because she played the piano and sang, and that's what, I was doing. Yeah. So she's like a big inspiration. So it was really great fun because everybody said that she was, all the way out there. So when I met her and we hit it off, and we stayed friends, until her passing, it was just a nice treat that somebody turned out to be everything that you wanted them to be.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, you are in town performing Wednesday night, and we're very excited about that. She's going to be here.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
So you still get excited to take the stage, Valerie?
Yeah, I do. I do, because, I'm taking it alone. I got to remember to keep on singing. I don't have no part,
Right. You got to sing both parts.
Right. I got to sing all the way through the song, and it's funny, like when you're working with somebody, you don't want to outshine or overshine. So you have to mesh. And now I don't have to mesh with anything. I get to be everything that I think I can be, or I can try to be, so it's a whole different experience.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I saw you just it was about 2 years ago when we were together for the for Dorothy Heights celebration. Right. And you were absolutely amazing.
Oh, Donnie, I'm better now.
I love it. So you ain't seen nothing.
That now. Indeed.
Oh, well, y'all ought to go and check this out. Again, it's going to be Wednesday night. It's at the Bethesda Blues and Jazz Club. And that's at
8 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 o'clock, 7719 Wisconsin Avenue in Bethesda. So doors open at 6 o'clock. The show is at 8. Tickets are $40. It's reserved seating, so you need to go online and get these tickets now from my sis, Valerie Simpson.
All right now. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, man, I love you so much, and I really
love you back.
And thank you so much for coming on with me today.
Thank you, Donnie.
Okay, God bless you.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. Again, Valerie Simpson here on Majic 102.3, the real sound of the DMV.